So this video, I'm going to show you if you're going to try to use blending or you're trying to use concentric mow lines and straight mow lines together, you got to kind of blend them. But this theory that I'm going to be doing right now can be used in a lot of things when creating your satellite overlays. And this is why understanding the layers and understanding mass, understanding how to select things, understanding Inkscape and how to export your shapes can really come in handy. So let me show you the problem. So in here in Photoshop, you can see I created my concentric mow lines, these guys, and then I also have my vertical, horizontal, diagonal mow lines, but they look like crap because they're overlapping here. I don't want this overlap right where I want to see my concentric, but I don't want to see my straight mow line. So how would I fix that? Well, let's go back and use our Inkscape shapes again in order to fix that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come back here into Inkscape, and let's look at my layers. I'm going to find the outermost layer here. So this outer one right here. So if I select that, I believe it's this guy. Yes, it's that one. That's our outermost layer. Okay, so let's get rid of the other ones. And now we just have that outer one left, and we're going to export that. So File, Export, 8192, 8192, just like this. And I'm going to call this my, let's call it my outer concentric. So now I just exported that. So now let's go into Photoshop, and we'll put it inside of mow lines. So let's go into mow lines, create another layer here, and let's call this, well, it's going to get overwritten anyway. So let me just drag that new shape that we created. We called it outer concentric. Let's put it there. Zoom out so I can transform this. Drag a corner up here. Drag this corner down here. Make sure it says 8192. Perfect. I'm going to commit it. All right, so now I got this outer concentric. Now let's use our select tool, okay? Remember, this is the outermost concentric mow line. If we can use this and then use the selection to delete these guys, right? We can clean this up a little bit. So let's go into my magic wand. I've got my outer concentric selected. Let me hit that. And now I've got my outer concentric selected, okay? And I am going to come up here to select, modify, and I'm going to expand this, but not by much. Let me just do, let's do 2 pixels. And I'm also going to select, modify, and feather this by 2 pixels as well. So now I've got the selection feathered for my outer concentric. Now if I come down here to my vertical mow lines, and any of these are actually, I can hide my outer concentric now so I can see a little bit. But now if I come down here to this and I change this brush to black, so I'm erasing, and I use my brush tool and I make the brush really big, let's say huge, gigantic like that. Now, if I use this, I will essentially erase. I'm on my normal, I have it black, so I'm erasing. I can essentially erase my vertical mow lines, but only on where my outer concentric is, right? Does this make sense? So let me just highlight this, and I'm just going to go over all that. And actually, if I zoom in, maybe I can show you guys this happening. Yeah, let me work on this fairway right here. So right now you can see, so I got my diagonal, which is this one right here, my diagonal mow lines, my brush tool. And you can see if I drag it out, it just disappeared inside that area, okay? Because I erased it. I essentially told to mask that area as black. So I'm actually going to do this across all 4 of these really quickly. So let me just take this, drag it there. I'm going to do the same thing for my diagonal mow lines here. Do that over. My horizontal mow lines, put that here, and then we'll zoom in and I'll show you what this is going to look like. So now I can do Control D to unselect. And now when I zoom in here, you can see that I've got my concentric mow lines around the outside, but they do not overlap anymore with my straight mow lines. And on top of that, there's no hard edge. It's blurred. Okay, it's a nice soft connection there. So that's how you would combine your vertical, or your, I would say your straight mow lines with your concentric mow lines. And also that trick you can do with like a lot of other stuff as well.